it's Micah. Welcome to our Monday reaction series where we are looking at all of the #1 year-end Billboard Hot 100 hits of each year. In 2002, which is the year we've gotten back to at this point, the #1 song of the year was Nickelback's How You Remind Me. I remember this song quite well. I haven't heard it in a while, but of course it was inescapable in 2002, and I'm happy to go back and give it another fresh listen. Nickelback has become more or less a punchline over the past 2 decades for generic rock music, and I think that it's just become a big pile-on at this point. It got kind of ridiculous with them and with Justin Bieber, and you know, there's always a how should I put it, a sacrificial lamb of pop music at any given point. If you become too ubiquitous or too popular or too famous, then people are always gunning for you. And so Nickelback, unfortunately, was the recipient of that kind of criticism, and has been, like I said, has been an easy punchline. And I've always really not bought into this reverse hype about how terrible certain groups are just because they're popular. To me, this is just desperation on the part of people who want to seem cooler than the next person. But that's my commentary on that for now. Maybe I'll have more later, but in the meantime, let's just get into this, which, despite everything and despite what anyone has to say about them, Nickelback had the #1 song of 2002. Let's listen to it.
Never made it as a wise man, I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Tired of living like a blind man, I'm sick aside without a sense of feeling. And this is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you to say sorry, I was waiting on a different story. And this time I'm mistaken for letting you a heart worth breaking. And I've been wrong, I've been down, been to the bottom of every bottle. These 5 words in my head scream out, we haven't fun yet. Yeah, 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 no, no. Yeah, 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 no, no. It's not like you didn't know that I said I love you, and I swear I still do. And it must have been so bad, 'cause living with me must have damn near killed you. And this is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you to say sorry, I was waiting on a different story. This time I'm mistaken for letting you a heart worth breaking. And I've been wrong, I've been down, been to the bottom of every bottle. These 5 words in my head scream out, we haven't fun yet. Yeah, 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 no, no. 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 Never made it as a wise man, I couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. And this is how you remind me. This is how you remind me. This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. It's not like you to say sorry, I was waiting on a different story. This time I'm mistaken for handing you a heart worth breaking. And I've been wrong, I've been down, been to the
Okay, so I had forgotten some of the dynamics of that song. It really has been several years since I've heard this song, but of course it all came back to me as the song was playing. Uh, Now, don't get me wrong, I understand why people were upset with Nickelback to an extent. What we have here is the basic quiet, loud, punk, grunge, Nirvana, etc., etc., etc. We have like there's a long history of this type of song structure, and what Nickelback did is they took that song structure and they really popified it a lot. Even him growling and screaming in the chorus still has an innate catchiness to it that is very different from the subversive catchiness of, say, a Kurt Cobain song. This is almost all of Kurt Cobain's catchiness was incredibly ironic. Chad Kroeger's or whomever, and I'm not sure if he's the primary songwriter for the group, but Nickelback's catchiness is completely unironic, and they're also giving you straightforward, more or less straightforward, angsty, but straightforward love type records instead of biting social satire or the commentary or the acidity that you associated with or the gravitas that really permeated grunge music. This is more or less a grungified version of mainstream rock music, but that's what happens when music becomes popular. It gets streamlined. Elvis from 1956 sounds nothing like Elvis from 1960. The early and the all of rock music from the mid 50s had morphed into beach blanket bingo style music by the early 60s, and then and over again, like over the years, something edgy comes out, and then someone polishes off the rough edges and makes a more popified version. This is how music history happens, regardless of the music form. And Nickelback just happened to come in really quickly after the initial wave of grunge, and then kind of co-opt it and popify it. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. If they had just done a straight-ahead rock song without all these grungy overtones, then I don't know if they would have been more accepted or not, but it wouldn't have been really any different. It's just that they decided to use this format for what they were doing. And I don't know, maybe there's some meta stuff that's not really in the music. Maybe it's stuff that they said in the media about what they were trying to do, and that solidified people's ideas that they were posers or whatever the objection was. But this is a really solidly constructed pop grunge type record. The three movements of the song, the more quiet, minimalist verse, then the revving up into the pre-chorus, and then more guttural yelling and emoting of the chorus, going all the way through that progression and then going back again, and then dialing it all the way back for the bridge and ramping back up again. It basically scales the mountain like 3 different times in the song, so you get this full dynamic range. The song is so well constructed from a melodic standpoint that you can't unhear this melody after you hear it, or this combination of melodies that work really well together. So to me, this is a bang up pop rock record, and it does have that crunchy sound that's really satisfying, that you love about grunge. It's not the same attitude, it's not the same bite as the genuine grunge music, but it's still plenty satisfying, and so I completely enjoy it. That's my take on it. So next week we'll be going to 2001, and what do you know? It's another sort of post-grunge pop record, which is the #1 song of 2001, and maybe this is part of it too. Maybe there was just so many of these groups. I know there was between Nickelback and Creed and Lifehouse, Hanging by a Moment. And when I saw that was the #1 song, I was like, wow, I don't remember it being that monstrous of a hit, but I guess maybe it was. Maybe I was just checked out at that point. I don't know. At any rate, we'll be reacting to that next week. Until then, if you liked this video, please hit the like button. If you subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined, and please help me to make music better.